Hello and welcome to, or welcome back to, the Endurance League with the Sausage Dodgers. The tour takes us to the United States. This time we're racing at a track that we all can know, love, and respect. It's going to be Road America. We're doing the full course, 4.048 miles or 6.5 kilometers. It was founded in 1955. We have 14 corners, 8 to the right, 6 to the left. Elevation change of around 171 feet. We're located in Eckhart Lake, Wisconsin. Couple keys to the race coming at you. We've got some incorrect info. I apologize for that, but we have keys to the race. Protect the brakes down the long straightaway, mean heavy braking zones, avoid lockups. Fuel management, long laps gives fewer chances to pit. Plan accordingly. Avoid offs. Those grass here, lost time or race can be lost, so avoid it at all costs. Stay clean. The slipstream, long straights make drafting powerful. Use it for overtakes, but don't overcommit to risky corners like into the kink. Saw that happen during practice session, and it was quite fierce between the drivers. We'll take a look at the championship standings in just a few moments' time during our break, but for now, the qualifying session is on. Take a look at Noah Osbaldeston right now, driving the number 13 Acura. And into Canada corner number 12 here, before we get down to 13 and 14. Mark Richards with 2 purple sectors right now in the number 420 can potentially go a little bit faster than what Noah Osbaldeston has been able to produce. We'll have to see. Mark Richards goes. Original pole stolen away by Alejandro Girard, and Paul Cook in third. Noah Osbaldeston gets to the line. That'll be second place for him. 43 thousandths off the mark from Girardin out in P1. Will it be any gains for some of these drivers? Let's take a look at Paul Cook, who fell into 4th place, 0.6 off the good right now. In the GT3 category, it's Francisco Cardulo in the number 75 Aston in front of Mattia Ubertali. In P2, Vincenzo Stagnito in 3rd. Ty Mosley, the comeback kid, in 4th place. Simon Darsh, excuse me for getting that wrong, in 5th. Paolo Minetti in 6th. Leslie Simpkins actually slower than the GT3s right now, producing a 2:05, will fall into 7th place. Alejandro Girardin is picking up the pace and moving a little bit quicker. Last lap, best lap was that 149.5, but able to find mild improvements, as we can see on the board down below. Alejandro Girardin, 140 seconds, 149.498 is the time to beat for Girardin. Can he produce it when he gets to the line? It'll be a good improvement for the 5K rating driver. 48.234 puts himself 0.7 in front of Mark Richards now. Osbaldeston, 1.3 off the good. Mattia Ubertali looking to improve their position right now. Need 0.8 of a second to catch up to Cardulo out in the lead. 2:02.611 the time for the GT3s. And this is going to be an exciting event, to say the least, folks, because we're going to have this multi-class clash of cars all come together here for the 4 miles around one of America's fastest circuits. Ubertali 64 thousandths back from Francisco Cardullo on that lap. 2:02.611 was the mark to beat, but Ubertali now has one more opportunity to pull something out, and I don't think he quite has it in the bag. Pascal Eckhart, though, pulling out some stops and looking good. Eckhart gets to the line. Do they find any improvement? It'll be a 2:0 invalid lap, that last time around, and that will be Eckhart's second lap, so going on to the third now. There goes Girardin with more purple sectors. Mark Richards with improvements. Let's go on board with Richards and see what he sees. Coming up the hill over the crest. And that'll be it. Girardin improves 147.694. Mark Richards 148.811. Osbaldeston, though, into P2 out of nowhere, just in the nick of time, 4/10 back. Red Fudge saying microphone sounding a little robotic, static or something. Let me try to fix that really quick.
Test, test, 1 2 1 2. Red Fudge, how's the coverage now? End of qualifying, just coming to the conclusion as we wait for the results of the session to get populated. The last of the drivers. Hold on, Ubertali. Now, I thought took away P1, but Cardullo crossed the line and stole it back in the GT3 category. Voice is back. Perfect. Thank you so much for letting me know, Mr. Fudge. But we're back in action. Qualifying now completed. Let's take a look at the championship points that we have for the drivers. Marin Coderman actually going provisionally faster. In the GTP category, Alejandro Girardin leads by 134 in front of Mark Richards with 120. Thomas Oliviati in third, Andrew Kenny in fourth, Leslie Simpkins in fifth, Sander Blau in sixth, Paul Cook in seventh, Louis Fichtner in eighth. Oscar Corbett in ninth, Jake Andrews in 10th, Robert Svor in 11th, Matt Simpkin in 12th, Jonas Zellberg in 13th, Osbaldeston in 14th, Pinder in 15th, Barker, Sparinger, Music round out the 18 drivers so far. Down to the drivers that haven't participated. It'll be Barker, Sparinger, Music, Moreno, Kizix, Siegert, Caitlin, Zarudi, and Weiss. On to the GT3 category, Joshua Gruning leads with 134 points in front of Maurice Schuler in P2, Florian Savecki in third, Stefan Wall in fourth place. It's awfully close there, third and fourth, tied up there with Simone Massey back by 1 point. Francisco Cardullo in sixth place with 99, Florian Brand in seventh, Toby Toti in eighth, Marihan Koderman in ninth, Daniel Moffat in 10th, Augusto Sicostio in 11th, Mr. Paul Cook, hello, Tim Williams in 12th, Maximin Schultz in 13th, Kevin Schuler in 14th, Mattia Ubertali in 15th, Nick Ewers, Noah Kelly Moss, Simon Darsh in 18th place. Paolo Manetti, Remy Lopez dos Santos, Vincenzo Stagnito, Mauro Gabbiati, Luke Sherlock, Ben Macy, Pascal Eckhart, Lionel Pilipakakis, Luca Zincola, and Azuka Manel. And we've got some more. Mickey Phipps, Andrew Kesserton, Luke Andrews, Ryan Shelton, Vladislav Maverick, Chris Carr, Toby Andrews, Stephen Norrie, and Will Ewart, and Thomas Wright, rounding out the participants in the GT3 category so far. And we do have a 5-minute warm-up period for you folks, so don't go anywhere as we get the drivers just a little bit more comfortable and ready to go. As, of course, SDK has froze on me again. We're going to do a quick Control-Alt-Delete. How are you, Paul Cook? Pleasure to see you here again. And we're back, folks. Sorry about the slight technical hiccup that we had. I want to give a big shout out right now, while we have the time during this warm-up period, to thank our title sponsor for the Endurance Tour. Gemini Prestige Vehicle Movers Limited has sponsored all of the streams for the Endurance League tonight, folks. Really goes a long way that Gemini has gone out of their way to become the title sponsor for us here at the Sausage Dodgers. We are looking for title sponsors for other events as well. So if this is something that interests you, are you looking for a powerful way to promote your brand, product, or service? You'll partner with our live stream team and put your message directly in front of an engaged real-time audience. You can get live exposure to a growing and interactive audience. You get brand mentions during the stream with logo placement on the overlays and promotional materials. Custom shoutouts and product services and features such as Nick Ewers with Gemini Prestige Vehicle Movers. You can get direct audience reach, increased brand awareness, real-time interaction, and credibility. If you're interested in sponsoring, contact one of the admins. We do have another title sponsor. We have Coach sponsoring the Formula SDR League with 3 hours of one-on-one coaching for first place, 2 hours of one-on-one coaching for second place, and third getting 1 hour of one-on-one coaching from Noah Osbaldeston at Coach. You'll get full coaching across all cars and tracks on any platform except for ACC, R-Factor, Rennsport, or Race Room. You'll get dynamic feedback based on data and driver feeling and preference, depending on all factors like video and data analysis. No, Osbaldeston is a great person, and thank you very much for offering up those prizes to the championship. Right now, the checkered flag is waving for the warm-up session, and we're about to conclude and get the drivers gridded up here in just a few moments. Let's take a look at the grid, folks, as the cars get ready to rumble. For the Endurance Tour, it'll be for round 6 at Road America. Alejandro Girardin will lead the charge in the GT3 category. No, in the GTPs, excuse me. Noah Osbaldeston in P2, Thomas Oliviati in 3rd place, Andrew Kenny in 4th, Mark Richards in 5th, Paul Cook in 6th, Leslie Simpkins in 7th, Roberts 4 in 8th. In the GT3 category, it'll be Francisco Cardulo and Mattia Ubertali on that front row. Marahan Koderman, Vincenzo Stagnito alongside, with Pascal Eckhart and Simone Darche in tow. Ty Mosley with nobody, and Tim Williams in 8th for Sausage Dodgers Racing. Paolo Manetti in 9th, Nick Ewers in 10th, Luca Zincola in 11th, Luke Andrews in 12th, Simo Massey in 13th, and Toby Andrews in 14th. Luca Gentile and Mauro Gabbiati rounding out everybody in the GT3 category. Drivers bobbing, weaving every which way as we're ready to go racing here tonight for Sausage Dodgers Round 6, the Endurance Tour. Full pace lap here as we get ready to go. It'll be mad and hectic going down and towards turn 1. We don't know what's gonna happen. Osbaldeston, relatively good pace out here, but we did talk to him before the stream and he said that he wasn't quite comfortable with the car just yet. As we looked at the livery, it's all white. It is just white car. It's not the usual Nova Motors Esports team livery that we usually see. Ready to go racing around Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Around one of the longest permanent road racetracks in North America. Drivers getting up 2 by 2 now. And officially ready to rumble. I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, aka The Real High, and it's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag all season long, and we'll continue to do so here with the Sausage Dodgers as long as you'll have me, folks. Ready to take the green light coming down the long straightaway. And we're patiently waiting the green lights, and we get to the line, and we're green, 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 down and towards turn 1. Flashy of the headlights from the cars behind. Osbaldeston punts Girardin, and he goes round. Mark Richards out into the lead of this event. And there's another car off. That'll be Andrew Kenny, who went off track. Let's get a replay of what happened there. Obviously, something happened to Kenny a little bit earlier on than that, but we'll have to get a replay of that later on because the racing is still ongoing. Robert Zvor battling it out with Oliviati right now. And there will be an immediate pit stop for Girardin. And that might end his race. And there goes the 7th place car. I think that'll be Kenny again. again. Yes, it is Kenny losing it, and he's going to have to take an immediate pit stop as well alongside Leslie Simpkins in the back of the field. Ooh, trouble for some sausage dodgers here tonight, but victory for others. As right now, Mark Richards has gained 4 positions on the good. Hello, Simone Massey. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for joining us in the YouTube chat. Really appreciate you, sir, as always. In the GT3 category, things have shaken up quite a bit as well. Vincenzo Stagnito. No, excuse me. Vincenzo Stagnito up into second place, gaining 3 positions. Francisco Cardullo up 1 position right now, forcing Mattia Ubertalli to hold fast in third. On board now with Ubertalli. Let's ride along. Luke Andrews going for a move now. 3 wide nearly. Going in towards turn 1. Tim Williams and Marihan Coderman don't mind a little rubbing his racing action. Leading down in towards 1. Tim Williams in a sandwich of cars right now. Driver in 8th position. Looking for a better run of things, but can't do it now. There's a huge Mustang of Luke Andrews charging alongside him now. And there goes Massey down pit road. It'll be tight. It'll be hectic. The Mustang on the brakes is heavy, but it'll get it planted, uses all the runoff road there, and that'll be a position gain for Luke Andrews tonight. Up 5 in the category. Now there goes Toby Andrews, Porsche on Porsche violence coming down in towards the carousel, but the Sausage Dodgers team is fighting to hold on the inside line. Carrying enough speed, the 797 leads Toby Andrews, and the number 24, the Purple Machinery, is looking menacing right now through the kink. Drivers are flat out, or darn near should be flat out. Not a good passing opportunity just yet. Don't lose track of Francisco Cardullo into Canada. The 24 sends it, forcing the 797 off into the kitty litter and running a little wide. Ubertalli gaining pace on Cardullo in front as well. Let's check in with that Cardullo battle because it's getting spicy for P1 right now. The Italian man battling with a fellow countryman of Vincenzo Stagnito up at the front. Luke Andrews and Marihan Coderman exchange blows, and Coderman seems to be going backwards in that Aston, potentially fuel saving a little bit. The 966 is down 4 positions on the good right now, so not looking good for Coderman. This driver is out here impressing me very much tonight. Luke Andrews from the UK closes down the gap on Ty Mosley, who makes a mistake right before we got down into the carousel. I'll be turn 8. A crucial mistake there leading down into a zone where you carry a ton of speed. The 14 goes defensive. The 59 around the outside of the kink carries speed, but there's the 966 of Coderman trying to take advantage of the poor positioning of the Mustang. Will challenge down in towards Canada corner, but the 14 covers it off well. The 966 gets the position done on the 59 of Luke Andrews. Andrew Kenny, Robert Svor, Paul Cook now exchanging paint. Coming through turn 5 and turn 6, leading down into the hurry downs. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff, folks. It really helps out the analytics and the championship grow, because this is a great one to be in. Noah Osbaldeston has not pit, fell down 4 positions down into 6th after that early incident with Alejandro Girardin at turn 1. Osbaldeston makes a move into the final corner, and that'll be successful on Robert Svor. Now up 2 on the good into 6th place. Check back in with the GT3s. This is Marahan Coderman in 7th place, has Andrews chasing him down. More importantly, he's got Simon Darsh in front, who could potentially battle with for the rest of the night. The 44 leads the trio now, potentially not for long, as Coderman has made moves going down in towards Canada corner, and he's not afraid to do it again. Drivers using all the track that they've bought and paid for, kicking up kitty litter left, right, and center. .202.9 being the last lap, fast lap for the GT3 category right now. On board with Coderman. Oh, but we gotta check out the battle with Leslie Simpkins right now, because he is chasing out Roberts 4, but looks a little wounded out there. Lost that position earlier. Keeping an eye on those GT3s as well, because it's still close there. Fast lap coming out from the GTBs as Leslie Simpkins goes for that move on Svor. Looks to the inside at turn 1, but wasn't really alongside. Backed out of it at the last moment. Smart decision there. We do have a long race in front of us. 1 hour, 5 minutes left on the clock. As Leslie Simpkins gets closer to Robert Svor here, let's take a look at the weather really quickly. Temperature 64 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees Celsius. A little bit of wind out there. from the northeast at 9 miles per hour, 14 kph. Cloudy conditions, humidity at 63%. So maybe a little bit of rain on the forecast coming in. Could shake things up for the drivers and force out some interesting strategies from the drivers. We've seen a couple pit stops already from the field, but due to incidents most of the time, not due to the tire change or the environmental change just yet. Drivers settling in, putting down 149s and 150s. Mark Richards at the front put in a 150 last lap around, getting caught by Oliviati a little bit, but he's got a healthy 1.3 second gap right now. Here's the battle between Mattia Ubertalli and Vincenzo Stagnito, the two Italian men. We have Pascal Eckhart and Luke Andrews, but Eckhart is off the track. See if we can get a replay of what happened to Eckhart. Everything looks good. Dips a couple wheels off into the gravel. 15 able to come back on track, but then I think he loses it again. Is it another off track for Eckhart, the number 15? Yeah, dips a couple wheels off. Now things are looking good for Eckhart. Well, that was it for Eckhart. Gets passed by Mr. Tim Williams as well. Mr. Tim Williams on screen, driving the 797, chased down by Eckhart, 7/10 back right now. Oh, we got to check out the battle with Vincenzo Stagnito up ahead. It looks like this podium fight is spicing up. Ubertalli able to get by Stagnito. And potentially unleash this American muscle. Corvette able to stretch its legs and maybe catch up to Francisco Cardullo, who's ran away with a 2.5 second gap. Leslie Simpkins chasing down Robert Svor. Again, another battle that has been relentless for the last couple of laps. Leslie Simpkins to the inside line. Number 33 goes hard and fast on the braking zone. Drivers catching up to traffic, and we all know how the saying goes, traffic giveth, traffic taketh away. Andrews made up a lot of ground from his qualifying run, up 8 positions already in the number 59. Again, could challenge forward. Number 44 right up ahead, looking like the next victim now. '59 challenging now down the Moraine sweep into turn 5 potentially. Goes back over to the racing line. The GTP field gets involved. That'll be the 420 of Mark Richards, who's in the lead of the race. And that is exactly the definition of lap traffic giveth and taketh away. And Mark Richards is off the track and barges out the GT3 field. Holy Toledo. And that brings down the gap from Oliviati down to just 0.9 of a second. It was way higher than that, but that Mark Richards move resulted in null for Richards. Roberts 4 on track. This check driver getting passed by Osbjørnsen as traffic breeds opportunities now, especially through the Kettle Bottoms and into Canada Corner. Side by side down the front straight with the GTP. Healthy place to get past and not be worried about it too much. Looking a little further back, Tim Williams under attack from Eckhart, who lost a couple of positions and some ground. Now Eckhart looking like he can use traffic to his advantage now. Getting really close to the 797 of Tim Williams, but that's just how it's done. Alejandro Girardin back into the race and making up positions. Good on him for getting back in the fight. As the championship leader, he doesn't want to leave anything on the table, and he could potentially get some points in this event. Here comes Girardin now through the field as the Italian man's got his car repaired. He's back on track. More importantly, the battle for the lead now. Oliviati and Mark Richards separated by 0.7 of a second. Looks like Oliviati's done the hard work. On board with Oliviati. Losing out a little bit of time. And now where are the GTPs going to catch this BMW? Stuck in behind is Mark Richards. Oliviati closes down the gap massively. Now goes for a move around the outside. Oliviati can't find any room on the tarmac, so has to gingerly back out. Mark Richards gets a slip and slide out of the final corner. This will allow Oliviati to charge alongside. Fully alongside Oliviati versus Mark Richards, but the battle is concluded in a blink of an eye as Oliviati carried the overspeed and the drive. But the battle for P1 not quite over, as Richards isn't the type of person to just lay down and give up. The 420, second place in the championship, could really use a victory right now. Take a look at the GT3 battles that are still brewing. And it looks like Girardin in for another pit stop. And that is super unfortunate. The pack battle right here is going to be some Simon Darsh, Toby Andrews, Tim Williams, and Pascal Eckhart, with Marahan Koderman leading up in 5th place. The battle for 5 still available for all of these drivers. Koderman up, though, in the 9.66. Nearly 4.2 seconds in front of Simon Darsh. Still close for Eckhart, Williams, Andrews. Here in the backfield. And the 15 closes down on the 797. Coming into Canada corner, Pascal Eckhart, who's down 2. The German driver can challenge for better than that. Has Tim Williams, though, up ahead to contend with. He has to prove himself on track and put in the lap times to get around Williams. Last time around, Eckhart 2:04.0, 6/10 faster than Williams. Gets alongside on the entrance towards turn 1. Pascal Eckhart finds a way through, but Tim Williams tries to challenge back. Now looks to the inside line going into turn 3. It will be fully alongside for the 797, and they're going to barge elbows out. Windshield wipers are on. It looks like the 15 didn't know that Tim Williams was there and the overlap existed. The Aston Martin trying to move back over to the right-hand side. Tim Williams doesn't have enough real estate to demand the room there. Goes for a switch back, leading down into 5, and the move is done. Tim Williams snaps back on Eckhart. Great battling on the racetrack. Simon Darsh, though, looking pretty good, but has Toby Andrews right behind. What happened to Oliviati? Did a replay of what happened. Mark Richards passes Oliviati, who has a big off. Holy smokes. And that's how the position changed back for the lead now. Over to Toby Andrews. Whoa, and a big mistake from Darsh. That'll allow Toby Andrews to walk right on by. It'll be Gentile Luca into pit road with With 49 left to go, I'm pretty sure that's a very early pit stop. We'll have to see what the pit strategy comes out to for Gentile. Well, I could be wrong because Luca Zincola also comes down pit road. And they'll get their service and head back on track. But the 59 of Luke Andrews, who's up 9, isn't quite content yet with his race. He's looking forward at Vincenzo Stagnito and wanting to get onto that podium. BMW covers off the line on the inside run down towards Canada corner, leaves the door wide open, laid on the brakes for the third place Italian man. Luke Andrews heavy on the brakes in the number 55 Mustang. On board with Andrews now. Looks to the inside line. Can he carry the speed? Will it be a successful run? The 59 is through on the number 8 of Vincenzo Stagnito. Now the monumental challenge is in front of him. Can he run down Ubertali and Cardullo? He's 8 seconds back overall. Has to catch up to Ubertali next in the Corvette. It was 4.3 seconds off the road. Checking in with Pascal Eckhart and Tim Williams, who seem to be attached at the hip. Simon Darsh into the pits, number 44. Ooh, and the battle for P1 is coming back as Oliviati in the number 22 is chasing down Richards again for the lead. Richards may not be the fastest on track, but he's been the most consistent in these tricky conditions and these tricky cars. Flashy of the headlights from Oliviati as he gets through traffic, and Richards went off track. We didn't even see that. Mark Richards, the number 420, goes off track, and Oliviati's through. Just as I said, the driver was doing great things and running consistently. He proves me wrong. Thank you very much, Mark Richards, making me look like a fool. Oliviati now into the lead by 1.6 seconds. Barring any mistakes, he does have the pace. Best lap, 1:49.36 compared to Mark Richards, 1:49.52. Taking a look at the top speeds of some of these cars in kilometers per hour, seeing upwards of 320 for Thomas Oliviati. Mark Richards only down to 307. Kenny up to 318. We haven't even talked about Andrew Kenny's rise and fall this race so far. All the way up into third place now. Very impressive from Kenny, who was down at the back of the field early on in this race. Up one position from where he started, but now is Mark Richards right in front of him. Luke Andrews goes for the undercut out from his third place spot down to pit lane, it looks like. Nothing separating the Sausage Dodger drivers. Andrew Kenny charges into P2 in front of Mark Richards, but Richards still there and holding on to the toe from Kenny in second. The number 3 into P2, the 420, now into third. Still up 2 positions on the start for the evening. Oliviati up 2, Kenny up 2, Richards up 2, Cook up 2, Simpkins and Sfor all up 2 on the evening. Andrew Kenny with a little bit of an off track there on the entrance to the carousel. Again, compromises his run and the speed that he needs all the way down to the kink and the Canada corner. Should be flat out all the way through and through, especially in the GTP category. And they've got traffic now coming down the back stretch. In the Kettle Bottoms and Canada corner. Still single file between the 2 drivers. Richards loses touch with Kenny up ahead. About half a second separates them. High-speed right-hander braking just after the crest for turn 1. Down to turn 3, it's a tight right. Brake early and trail into the corner, getting a clean exit, leading down to the longest straight onto the track. Turn 5 is a heavy braking zone. It's a steep downhill braking zone. You have to brake earlier than you think, and you hug the inside and don't overshoot it. It's a top passing spot, but it's risky. You have to watch out for dive bombs here. Turn 6, uphill left. Braking is assisted by the elevation, so brake early, apex, let the hill help you rotate. Down into 7. It's a fast right, the carousel. Long sweeping right. The approach is medium speed, but requires patience on throttle. Don't overdrive the car. Keep the steering input minimal and feather the throttle to maintain balance. Kink is just a high-speed right. It's fast and dangerous. There's no margin for error. Stay off the curbs and maintain car balance. Leading down into the Kettle Bottoms and Canada corner. Heavy downhill braking. Use the braking marker boards. Clean exit matters more than entry here. Popular overtaking zone. You have to defend it tightly. Leading into the final sector, there's not really any passing opportunities into the final 2 corners. No real heavy braking zones to deal with. And Richards, 3/10 back from Kenny, takes us around a lap around one of America's greatest racetracks, Road America. Now the question to ask, can Kenny and Richards work together to get by Ubertalli? 5.6 seconds is the gap. will it end up working out in his favor? We've seen some unique drives. We've seen some unique strategies come out. Elkhart now into the pits as well. Done with his battle with Tim Williams for now. Leslie Simpkins, Robert Svor, both into pit lane. So the window is officially open as we get broaching the halfway point of the race. Traffic through the Kettle Bottoms into Canada Corner puts Richards not on an opportune line. He loses a little bit of time. Thomas Oliviani leads the charge and the race right now, gaining 2 positions tonight. Leads over Kenny by 6 seconds. Mark Richards in the 420 in 3rd. Paul Rocky Cook in 4th. Leslie Simpkins in 5th. Robert Svor in 6th. Alejandro Girardin in 7th. Noah Osbaldeston in 8th. In the GT3s, it'll be Francisco Cardullo in 1st place with Ubertali in 2nd. Vincenzo Stagnito in 3rd. Toby Andrews in 4th. Tim Williams in 5th. And Mauro Gabbiati in 6th. Marahan Koderman and Ty Mosley, the comeback kid, in pit lane. And my question now is, where is Toby? Not Toby Andrews. Where is Luke Andrews? In this Mustang, 104 pit lane time, 21 seconds in the service, looking to be about the average as Mosley is exiting pit road now. Mark Richards also into the pits from the GTP category. So, like I said, pit stops are very much alive and welcome here as we get to the halfway point of this stint. Richards into pit lane. But I'm heavily invested in Luke Andrews right now. Found himself on the podium somehow, some way. Now has taken an early pit stop. Sits behind Marahan Koderman in the 966. But where does this put him overall? This is the battle for 8th in class for now. But at the end of the day, this could provisionally be a battle for the podium. Again, one of the keys to the race that we talked about was definitely regarding the pit stop strategy. Timing it to not come out in traffic is very, very important. Because it's such a long lap, the fuel management was very important to these drivers. and they had to plan accordingly. Andrews closing down that gap on Coderman. And then he's got Nick Ewers up ahead. The sponsor of today's stream, Nick Ewers, of course. Oliviati, Kenny, and Cook all take their quick pit stops. Now let's see where that puts Mark Richards at the end of the day. Coming down the straightaway, Paul Cook still in the pits, so Richards will get by. Andrew Kenny in P2 with Oliviati still in the lead, but this time it's a 7-second gap between Kenny and Oliviati. Back over to Luke Andrews, and there goes Coderman. Got a replay of what happened to Coderman in the 966, and he just gets on the curb, spins it around into the final corner, and that will do it there. Andrews walks right on by into 15th place overall, 8th place now in the GT3. Still up 5 tonight, and definitely on his way to gain more. Alejandro Girardin into pits now. I think that'll be his 3rd of the night. Now, to be honest, I didn't think that Francisco Cardullo had the pace tonight. His fastest lap, though, of the evening has been a 2:02.58. And it's been able to run into the 2:03s last time around, but so is Ubertali. Not gaining, not losing, just matching at this point in the event. Here at the Endurance Tour, we're always welcoming drivers, so if this is something that interests you or you want to get involved with the Sausage Dodgers organization, go ahead and check us out on Discord and find yourself getting installed to your sim rig and joining us on the racetrack, racing every Tuesday and Thursday with the Sausage Dodgers League. Right around the same time, 12:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or I believe that'll be 8 p.m. UK time. We have the Endurance League and Formula SDR, which is driving the Super Formula cars. And I must say, it is super fun. Okay, I'll stop. 29 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Francisco Cardullo leads the GT3s over Ubertali and Stagnito. Tim Williams still in the fight tonight. has Toby Andrews. Red Fudge says 21:35 here in the UK. So 21:35 will be the race time for the Endurance League. And here is Mr. Tim Williams in that chase. Toby Andrews in front. Tim Williams up 4 positions tonight. Possibly looking to make it more. Andrews up 10 driving that Porsche. I believe that'll be the Ferrari of Luca Gentile in front. That will not be a contender on the racetrack. That'll just be GT3 traffic in this endurance event. Andrews and Ewers going toe-to-toe now. I told you Andrews is a driver to watch. And that 59 put into work and caught up to a driver I believe hasn't even pit yet. That'll be Nick Ewers driving that number 55. Yes, it is. Pascal Eckhart takes his quick pit, only 4 seconds, and comes back out onto the racetrack. It'll actually be Eckhart's second of the night. Nick Ewers, the sponsor of our stream. Let's actually give a shout out to Gemini Prestige Vehicle Movers Limited, and the sponsor on the side of that livery as well for the number 55 for all your vehicle moving and storage needs. Make sure you contact Nick Ewers in the Discord chat. He has a brand new trailer that he can use to haul your vehicles around and keep them safe during transport. Again, contact Nick Ewers for any of your personal vehicle needs. We'll talk to Ewers towards the end of the race and check in with him and what he does. Here's Pascal Eckhart and Paolo Manetti. Pascal Eckhart just took that pit stop, got that service, and he's back out onto the racetrack now. Take a look at those pit stops. Looks like the GTP field has all come together and decided it was time. So the field all taken care of and ready to go. But the GT3 field, not quite as decisive. Running it long, top 3 runners still have not taken their pit stop. Drivers further back, starting in 13th place with Luke Andrews, have taken a pit stop in 6th place in the category. If I haven't already said it, big shout out and big thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers that help keep the lights on here at Sausage Dodgers Racing. Guys literally keep the stream going and the broadcast alive, as well as the server fees. So thank you very much to everybody that's donated, whether it's been one at a time or if it's been a monthly subscription. On the meat wall, we have Andrew Kesterton, Simone Hutchings, and Paul Cook. In the tier 1 category, those are the big dogs on the meat 24/7. Leslie Simpkins, Andrew Kenny, Mark Richards, and Jack McCarthy love the meet the most. In Tier 2, we have Mickey Phipps and Andrew Kesserton. Simon Darsh. Oh my goodness. I will get it right eventually. Mickey Phipps, Andrew Kesserton, and Simon Darsh in that Tier 2 category. Tier 3, we have Jack Jacketson. And whoever you are, Jack, thank you very much for being here and a supporter of the Sausage Dodgers organization. Side by side, now set up down into the kettle bottoms. Nope, this is the top of the key. 15 finds a way through somehow, some way, really without a passing opportunity into the final sector. Turn 14, set it up, got it done. Louis Pascal Eckhart up into 11th position, but still down 5 from where they want to be. Palominotti still staying within touching distance. The Italian BMW driver 6/10 back and closing down the gap as much as he possibly can. Checking back in with my boy Luke Andrews in that number 59 through Canada corner. Should be able to get around Mauro Gabbiati, who's into the pits. Again, the leaders find a way through just at the perfect time for Luke Andrews, caught on the straightaway. There it is, got around Gabbiati. Luke Andrews into 5th position now. Gabbiati and Ewers in pit lane. Ewers starts his service. "33 seconds back from Tim Williams." I think that'll happen during the pit stop cycle. Like I said, it is a long lap, but it's a very long pit stop as well. We're seeing pit lane time around 1 minute. Let's start doing some commentator math. Take a look at the gap. Luke Andrews is exactly 65 seconds off the leader right now, who's in pit lane. Let's start dramatizing this event, because Luke Andrews could potentially find himself on the podium on this lap. Stagnito, Andrews, Williams, all into the pits. Luke Andrews coming through the king, down kettle bottoms, into Canada corner. Where does he come out? These three are all sitting in pit lane. On the roll out, Ubertali hits the go button and is out in front by a mile in front of Luke Andrews. Where is Andrews going to come out now? Andrews coming through now. There it is. Luke Andrews comes out into 2nd place behind Mattia Ubertali. Toby Andrews into 3rd. Vincenzo Stagnito into 4th. 20 seconds the gap to Ubertali for P1. Take a look at those pit times as well. Andrews a little bit slower in the service, trying to make sure he makes it to the end. He came in very early in this event. Look at the pit lane times as well. Lost about 7 seconds in the pit lane. Not good. Can Ubertali make it to the end with a very, very short pit stop? And what happened to Francisco Cardullo? Hold on, hold the phone. What has happened to Cardullo? Replay of Cardullo now. And just jump to pits. What happened to Cardullo, who was in the lead of the race? Seems to have had some sort of issue and had to work to pit. Simone Massey back down pit road. Okay. Marahan Coderman and Tim Williams continuing to battle on the racetrack even after the pit stop. Tim Williams managing to stay ahead of Coderman. Look to the inside line from the Aston behind the 75, trying to find a way by. That'll be Cardullo on his recovery drive down into 23rd overall, 16th position for the class. There goes Coderman on Williams, a switchback, the sandwich, the 75 goes around, and a 797 still there, chasing down Coderman. Back to Tim Williams and Marahan Coderman. Go to the gyro cam and see Tim Williams' charge and inputs coming down in towards turn one. Again, heavy braking zone, using a lot of that runoff road to the left-hand side on exit. Down towards turn three before the Moraine sweep. Along the stretches on the track where you can gain the most speed. Down, plummeting down in towards turn five. Heavy braking zone again. Using all the track on the right-hand side for entry. And again, we'll run off road on the right-hand side. Here's a tricky one. The uphill braking zone is blind into turn six. Turn seven's just that little kink before you get to the hurry downs. And the carousel now, where you have to be patient and tentative on the throttle application. And Tim Williams is doing that. Focus and dedication from Williams, but it's not good enough. He's losing ground to Koderman out in 5th place. The gap is expanding. It's 1.5 seconds now between these two drivers. This will be the closest battle on the racetrack right now. As most of the cars in the field are separated by multiple seconds on the racetrack. Minutes and 20 seconds remaining on the clock, folks. Oliviati leads Andrew Kenny in the GTP category. Mark Richards in 3rd. Paul Rocky Cook in 4th place with Leslie Simpkins in 5th. Roberts 4 and Alejandro Girardin will round out the 7 drivers in that category. Mattia Ubertali, Luke Andrews, Toby Andrews. Oh no, Luke Andrews, the driver in 2nd place, crashes. Let's get a replay of what happens now. Driving hard, driving fast, the 59 loses it just on his own. And a big lockup will allow Toby Andrews through. The number 24 back up into 2nd place. Noah Osbaldeston out of this race for now. After a big wreck into turn 1 with Alejandro Girardin. Mattia Ubertali leads in the GT3 category in front of Toby Andrews, who's up 12 positions. And Luke Andrews is up 10. Vincenzo Stagnino up 1. Marahan Koderman down 1. Tim Williams up 3. Simone Darsh in 7th. Ty Mosley in 8th. Mauro Gabbiati in 9th. Pascal Eckhart in 10th. Nick Ewers in 11th. Palomini, Luca Gentile, Luca Zincola, Simone Massey, Francisco Cardullo, and Noah Osbaldeston round out the 24 participants. Andrew Kenny trying to get around the 32 of Girardin. And does so with grace. A 3-second, nearly 4-second gap to Oliviani up ahead. Can it be surmounted? There's a big wiggle from Mark Richards there in the background. As he got a couple wheels off into the grass. Pascal Eckhart into the pits again this race. Just not his night, unfortunately. .940 left on the clock. It's really just a handful of laps remaining. Mark Richards not being let by. Maybe he's happy just getting the tow from Girardin out in front. The 420 chasing the 32. This is going to be traffic, not for position. Andrew Kenny up ahead in the number 3, though, is for position, but driving for the Sausage Dodgers team as well. So we'll see if Mark Richards and Andrew Kenny exchange blows into the final stages of this race. This is one of the closest quote-unquote battles on track, as things have really started to simmer down here for the SDR team. Four seconds the battle for the lead. This battle between Mark Richards and Andrew Kenny separates them by 1.8 seconds. On board with Richards. Now we're getting by Tim Williams in 6th place for his category. And the race is very much still on here. Paul Rocky Cook in 4th place, 24 seconds back from this battle here. Bobbing and weaving from the 32, trying to drag along the 420 of Mark Richards, but I think it's hurting rather than helping. Coderman chasing down Stagnito, the 966, had a little bit of a spill. Able to recover. Back up into 5th. Has Stagnito up ahead by just under a second. Sylvanian driver with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Again, just a handful of laps remaining in this event. .203.9 compared to a 203.0 that last time around. So expect this one to come down on this lap. Coderman and Stagnito in the final stages of the race. He's brought down a 5.4 second gap to just 0.9 of a second. Coderman is on fire right now. see Stagnito losing time lap after lap. A big one on lap 29 for Stagnito. 2:02.9 for Coderman. About a second and a half slower for Stagnito. A little bit closer this time around, brings it down to just 0.4 of a second between the two drivers. Luke Andrews with a black flag penalty. Is that going to be a drive-through for my favorite driver who just joined and is sitting in third? Coderman to the inside line at turn 5, the 966. Look at the stamp and ascend there into the braking zone. Gets it done on Stagnito. Didn't really posture himself in a way that I expected the move to get done, but Coderman just went for it. Again, Stagnito has been a tough driver to beat the entire championship season. But this just hasn't been his night so far, losing out one position from where he started in 4th. 3/10 back from Coderman. This is not the white flag lap. We will get one to go. Final opportunities for drivers to pounce and try to get moves made. And that'll be Andrews taking that black flag drive-through penalty. And they'll tumble down the order into 6th place, unfortunately. So sad to see. My favorite driver getting penalized. 40 seconds left to go on the clock. I believe Thomas Oliviati will finish out this lap. Yes, he will. This will be the white flag lap, folks. Andrew Kenny putting in personal best, as you can see, blood in the water. 149.0 for Kenny. Thomas Oliviati 149.1, best lap for him. You can see Kenny in the background, but it's all been this man, Thomas Oliviati, gaining 2 positions tonight, driving the number 22 in turn 5 for the final time. Battled with the best, battled with Kenny, Mark Richards, Paul Rocky Cook. But at the end of the day, Oliviati is going to lead when it matters most, when the checkered flag flies. Thomas Oliviani will come to Canada corner with a 2.4 second gap to the drivers behind. And he will take the checkered flag for the Sausage Dodgers Round 6 Endurance League at Road America. Thomas Oliviani will claim victory and get a huge haul of points on the evening. Congratulations to Oliviani tonight as he has finished out the race in P1. Andrew Kenny with a great drive in P2 with 2 to gain. Mark Richards bringing it home for a Sausage Dodgers 2-3 podium tonight in the number 420. Paul Rocky Cook, 14 seconds back, is battling with Leslie Simpkins at the end of the race, just 0.8 separating the duo. Paul Cook in 4th place, Leslie Simpkins in 5th place, Robert Svor round things out in 6th with Girardin in 7th. Mattia Ubertalli in the GT3 category will take the win tonight. The Italian man will lead by 27 seconds in front of Toby Andrews, who crosses the line in P2. Marahan Coderman recovers and do a commanding P3 with Vincenzo Stagnito in P4. Tim Williams will round it out in P5, 12 seconds back. Get the results posted in just a few moments' time, and we'll get the drivers ready for their interviews in just a few moments as well. So don't go anywhere, folks, as we get the drivers rearing and ready to go for their interviews. Stand by, and we'll be right back. And I don't see anybody coming down for an interview. So I think that will wrap things up for us tonight, folks. Want to give a big shout out and a huge thanks to our title sponsor again, Gemini Prestige Vehicle Movers Limited. For all your vehicle moving needs, go ahead and contact Nick Ewers. Let's see if I can go ahead and drag Nick Ewers in. I can't do that. Let's see. If we can get a hold of Nick before we wrap up the stream tonight. But if you're here live or in the future watching the stream, thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. It really helps us out here at Sausage Dodgers Racing. And of course, if you want to get inserted into your sim rig and join us on track, make sure you go ahead and do that. Find us in the description. Join us on Discord. Find us on iRacing. We are the Sausage Dodgers. With that being said, thank you very much again for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to be your host. Thank you to our Patreon subscribers. Have a great night. And as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Bye-bye for now.